So that's the cart. It's about 36 inches tall, 2 feet deep, and 52 inches wide the way I'm going to make it. I'm going to try this bar. Okay, lift in. Okay, push in. Okay. 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 Yeah, I can just glue and clamp those. That'd be good enough. And later, I'll let it dry first, I think, and then I'll add screws. I just need to hold it in the proper place. Okay, looks like I've got it in the right place. Double check. Yep. The other one I've been using for a couple of years, and it was slapped together more shoddily than this one's going to be, and it's been doing just fine for all that time. So this one will do fine. All right. Well, then I get all the gluing done at the same time. So that'll hold the oil filter piece again later. So that can just sit there and dry. That's great. Clamporama. Now, just got this one to do. And this one is just simply glue it like that. I just attached that with a couple of zip ties. So I drilled holes at an angle so that they'll go right through there. And again, I pre-marked that and tested it to know where I was putting this. Got 4 screws. All right. And that little piece just holds my little tray under here. So in case I get any drips off of anything, it catches it. So nothing fancy. So next, I need to design the piece and print the cap for this. So not a big deal. Yeah, so 9.3. And then I'll probably make it, I printed a top cap. And I put some silicone in it, so I don't want to screw it on very far right now until that's had a chance to dry. But that'll screw onto there. So just like the other cart, this cart has locking wheels on all 4 wheels. And then I added a small shelf above that to put my oil filters on. So when I do want to drain it, the filters are directly below it, so I can filter it again. This is filtering it, but when it starts to get saturated with water, I put it through the filter one more time to get rid of the rest of the water. Then I have a 2-stage filter. The first one currently is a rolled paper towel filter, and currently this one's one of the Goldenrod water block filters. And then it's all held by this little wood bracket that's screwed on, so I can move it anywhere. And then I have my wrench for the filter. And then I have a vent they tapped into there. So this is just a cover, a cap I 3D printed. And so I can turn the oil outlet of the pump off, and then I can still drain this while the pump is still going. Then my high-tech timer for the switch for turning on the pump is just the first Philistruder motor, and it goes 1 revolution a minute, and I just 3D printed this cam and put the switch next to it, and so that just turns on and off for this pump. I have it on 15 seconds at a time. That way any impurities, any water droplets, anything has time to settle out in the oil filters before it comes on again. So I'm running this pump directly off the battery, which then I'm attaching a small battery charger to it. And that's one of the advantages of having it run just 15 seconds a minute. I don't need a lot of power. So the oil gets pumped up through into the top of the pump in the filler connector, and the cap that goes on the filler is not a standard size thread, so I 3D printed the threaded portion that goes into the pump, and then the other side is a 1/2 inch and goes to all the 1/2 inch regular standard 1/2 inch pipe. I'll thread all the way down in there. And then the rest of it's just standard 1/2 inch material. And then after it goes through, it just recirculates back through and starts the cycle again. Yeah, this cart's the same as the other cart, except it doesn't have any pullouts yet, but it started its life as the same cart. Oh, I may change the orientation of the freeze dryer and turn it 90 degrees and have the front on this side. Currently, we're using it with the back side of that against the wall or near the wall, and so this is in the front space, and you're kind of against the wall in the front. But there's plenty of room and there's space to put trays. But I could turn it 90 degrees and put it way on the left-hand side and leave a big space between the vacuum pump and the freeze dryer for shelf space. So I'm not really sure where I'm headed with it. So we're going to try it out this way first and see how that works. Okay, the bottom part of the cart is just going to be used for storage at this point. Put some kind of little pull out for the water at this level and shorten the hose so that there's an air gap there, so there's no chance that you can ever pull water back into it. I've been running our freeze dryer with this side plate off for years because the original one had just a small holes in the side, and the gap between this is like a 1/4 inch, so it does not get good airflow through here. And even Harvest Right recommends taking off this panel in hot weather, though ours is never in hot weather. I wanted the maximum flow through there. So I decided I'd like to have it back on. So I've got it marked out. I'm going to put This is where I talked about how I was going to make louvers. Then I realized I didn't have the ability or tools to make louvers out of this metal. So I decided I'm going to use a step drill and drill a bunch of holes instead. And so I can get this back on there and have it look a little nicer and still get all the airflow. Been 5 weeks since we've run any freeze drying. Trays have been in the freezer pre-freezing, so they're nice and cold. Got 10 pounds of cooked diced chicken. This is just 5 pounds of it. And we also have 10 pounds of shredded cooked chicken. So it's grilled and cut. And I'm going to just put these on the trays and get them in there. And with chicken like this, you can load the trays pretty full. So I'm getting about 2 pounds per tray is all. So the freeze dry has been pre-chilling for about an hour and 10 minutes, or just under. And it's down to -4. And I'm going to load the food in. And again, this is the first batch we've done in 5 weeks. All right.